Hi, this is Sevilla I Love. Welcome to Heal Your Heart, Create a Life That You Love. I'm a grief and loss specialist. I have over 20 years of experience as a therapist, a lifetime as a spiritual guide, helping one soul at a time to get past debilitating grief and loss and get into a life that you love. Now, today we're going to talk and get more in depth with this concept of what if. I mean, we all sit with that when we've had a great amount of loss in our life. What if this one thing didn't happen? What if they'd gotten a different medicine? What if we had had that second child? What if she never met that other guy? What if we ate better and cancer never happened? What if? And you can go on and on and on and on and on about this question, and it can really keep you up at night. So we're going to talk about what you can do to help you get you out of the what ifs and into a space that is more peaceful and useful for driving you forward in life. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so. We're growing and we're growing readily. And please also like this video if it's something that you are enjoying, and feel free to share it with as many people as possible. As we grow this channel, the more people we can help together. Now, when you're up at night and the question's running through your mind, what if? Now just take a moment now to think of it, because 5 just popped up into your mind, didn't it? It did. I know it did. And that's because you ruminate with this. So you have a few different options that you can do. And my number one tip for dealing with the what if is to write it down. Okay, now let me tell you why you should write it down before you dismiss it as, all right, she wants me to journal, because it's actually useful. But here's why. When you take this story that you're telling yourself or imagining could have been, should have been, would have been, and you put it down on paper, now you've created some space between yourself. When I say yourself, what I mean is your higher self, your spiritual being having this human experience. You then take your observer position to see the story that you've written down. So take each scenario and play it out to its infinite possibilities. So if we had eaten better and we ate more fruits and vegetables and she never would have gotten cancer, and we didn't get cancer, now we're still living together and we're on an island on a beach and drinking Mai Tais and enjoying our lives, and we live happily ever after, and we die when we're 90. Holding hands together in a bed in a nursing home. I mean, whatever your best case scenario, you go off together, Thelma and Louise style, off a cliff. Whatever it is, play out the scenario of the what if. Now, take the next scenario of the what if and play that out to its infinite possibilities. Then take your story and sit back and look at it and read it. Okay? And after you've done that, with all the infinite possibilities of what could have been, now ask yourself, how does that change things now? How does it change things now? Do this what if stories make you feel better? Do they allow you to go into a fantasy place of what could have been, and maybe you can live there for a little while in happy land? Or feel even worse, thinking how much worse it could have been in a different scenario? You need to allow yourself the what ifs, because it's really part of the grieving process. There's nothing wrong with you for doing it. It's completely normal. And anyone who's had a loss will go through that stage of what ifs. Or self-blame. I should have done something differently. But bringing yourself into this present moment, because my friends, there is only ever this one present eternal moment. And if you haven't heard me say it before, let me share with you. Your past, all that's happened up until this moment, is now a memory in your mind. It is now a story that you tell yourself based on your perception and your own individual experience, isn't it? And someone else on the other side of the story is going to be telling it differently. So this is just your story. And that's all that it is at this point, these memories. And I'm not trying to minimize any of your history, but just to help you rationalize. Now, the future is a projection of the mind. It's a projection of possibilities. It's a hope, it's a wish, it's a fret, it's a fear. It's an expectation, but none of them actually exist any more than the past exists now in this one infinite moment. It's always now. And so before you argue about it, now think about it. So you may have plans for next Friday, but when next Friday finally arrives and you say, hey, it's Friday, it's now, isn't it? It's going to be now when you're in your next Friday. So next Friday is a projection of your mind. Oh, the world blows up tomorrow. There is no Friday. It doesn't exist yet until you're in that now moment of the word that you label as Friday. Okay, so getting back into the what if scenario and why all of this now moment matters for the what if. So after you've played out your scenarios to their ad infinitum, asking yourself in this one infinite moment, does it change anything for me? And the answer most usually is no, because none of them are actually possibilities or will ever be possibilities. And everything that led up to the moment of the person that you lost, of their death, happened because of everything that happened before that moment and before that moment and before that moment. And rarely is there one thing that ever would change the trajectory, that the path that life was going on. Now, we may see things differently in the case of someone who's died by suicide or when there's been a violent crime, and even those can be argued. But I'm not here to argue that. I'm here to give you some tools and possibilities to be able to manage these really difficult feelings. Now, here's tip number 2. Now, if you stick around to the end of this video, I'd like you to keep an eye on this because I have other videos that also may help you on your grief and loss journey. And to be sure to click on those videos and to see what else we have available to you that might help you along on this journey. I'm getting back and getting into a new sense of wellness, happiness, and wholeness. So as you are moving into this next stage and wondering what to do with your what ifs, you can use some present moment techniques that can allow you to get some sleep at night. Now, there's tons of things you can do to sleep at night. You can take medicines, you can, do meditation, but here's one that might actually work. When you're laying there at night, take all of the feelings, all of the imaginings, all of the what ifs, and take them one story at a time, and to put them in this beautiful little box. Put them in a beautiful little box. And as you put them each in this beautiful little box, what I'd like you to do is to decorate that box in your mind, in an imaginative way. Decorate that beautiful box with as much love and as much light as you possibly can muster. And all of that love and light is going to be a manifestation of your acceptance that whatever is in this box is as it is, without judgment. Not that you shouldn't be thinking it, that you should think something different, I need to be in the present moment, and don't put any judgment on it. Just put love on it, because love dispels any darkness. And this is just the truth. You're in a dark room, the light comes in, the light dispels the darkness. So put your light onto this box that's full of your worries and your fears and your angst. And then to fill the box with the light. Fill the box with that love. Into that box is a burning bright light containing all of those feelings. And to counteract the darkness with your love and acceptance and your compassion for the pain. Now take that box of light and love that's full of the pain and the stories and the worries and the fears, and to put that aside. And as you put that aside, allow it to be, allow it to exist, and see that light burning within it, brightly, lovingly, compassionately. And now take yourself and into, while that box is there, into what might be your happy place. Some place that you feel loved, that you feel warm, that you feel comfortable. And if you don't have one, then you get to create one, and whatever that is. And allow yourself to go on that journey of comfort, knowing that that box will still be there tomorrow. It'll still be there the next day or the next day when you feel the need to take it out again. But because you have now infused all of that box with your love and your light, and you've allowed it to start to dissipate with the love and the light, now the pressure and the pain of that is going to begin to lighten in your own heart. So when you do revisit it again, you'll be able to revisit it with more space around it for you to move, examine, and protect your heart from things that are not serving you. So going back to tip number 1, is any of the information that you get out of all the what-if scenarios changing anything, serving you in any way? Right? So when this comes back to you, now that you have more light and space around it, you have more capacity to be able to deal with the emotions, so they no longer are debilitating you with the same impact and intensity that they were before, because you have now enveloped it with your love, light, and compassion, and you are becoming your own greatest healer. You have the ability to do this, and in fact, this is why you are here, is to find your way back to your source, to find your healing, because you're already whole within, no matter what you've been through, no matter how broken you feel. You are whole, and you can do this. You can take your next step, and you can be well again in all new ways as a possibly whole new person. Because now that you've been through fire, you find a new power within you to continue moving forward in this new life that you didn't ask for. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel. And I thank you for allowing me to be of service to your soul tonight.